That was William Vitalis with Open My Heart to the World. Welcome to Let's Find Out. The focus of this program is to have our hearts open to the universal, united, kind, loving, and forgiving planet. We have entered into a new decade and new energy form, the transformational 20s. Let's all begin to strengthen the new energies on the planet, strengthen your intuition, and strive to live a peaceful existence free from fear. What strategies, prayers, meditations, and exercises can one use to tap into the higher realms and receive messages from our departed loved ones, creating a higher vibration of living? When we're upset and confused, where can we find the answers? How can we know which path to take? The answers are here on Let's Find Out with our spiritually focused format and guests. And now it's time for tonight's program, Let's Find Out with Elizabeth Joyce.
Well, good evening. This is Elizabeth Joyce, and tonight I'm on with Frank St. James, and we're both here and dedicated to try and help everybody get through these very stressful times. And they are being extremely stressful at this time because we not only have the virus, but now we have riots all over, which, of course, I predicted about 18 months ago. And, Frank, I think you said something, too, didn't you, about the riots coming?
Yes, I felt that this particular time period was a particular turning point for a lot of things that are coming up and being exposed. And we had the opioids, we had the fentanyl thing that's still going on. We got layers of things that seem to be one on top of the other. And,
I know. I do think we're going to be going through great changes because we have 3 eclipses in 30 days. We also have somebody that wants to talk to you. Her name is Anne. I understand she's been extremely patient. So I would love you, Anne. Are you there?
Hello, Frank.
Are you there? Hello,
yes,
Anne. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you, Elizabeth and Frank?
What would you like to ask, Frank?
Oh, can I ask both of you? Because I mostly was listening to your radio shows.
Go ahead. Ask Frank.
Okay. So my question, well, I know it's not an easy time now and everything that's going on in the world and the country, but do you see like a serious romantic partnership for me? Like
you have to give us your birthday, please.
Oh, May 31st. It was just yesterday.
Oh, well, happy birthday. Glad to have you on the air.
Elizabeth. The year? Oh, 59.
What do you see, Frank?
She is a little later. I like a spiritual on the spiritual side, meeting somebody that you can really connect with. And it's the end of July and beginning of August. I do feel, do you belong to any kind of groups or anything that would get you out and get you within social contact?
No, I just retired recently. I took an early retirement due to the situation. I do not belong to any group, and actually since, well, I had some pre-existing conditions, I'm trying to be very careful. I even don't go much outside, but eventually it will end, and the quarantine and we will have a vaccine. That's what I'm hoping. So in a few months, I will definitely need to be more, social. But still, I've been trying, in the last year, and it didn't work out.
Never try to find a relationship. Yeah. You need to meditate and go inside and tell Spirit that you are ready to meet someone who can bring you comfort, honesty, trust, and caring, and allow the universe to bring that to you, and they will. To go out and hunt doesn't work. It only brings heartbreak and sadness.
And it's a time to be cautious because it's a whole new journey for you, too. And just take your time. I don't really go for the medium stuff on the radio a lot of times because you get a little bit anxious and you're not going to meet the right people, and a lot of people are not really upfront with who they are or what they're doing. Yep. So I would just suggest right now that you just take your time. If there's I don't know if you belong to a church group or anything like that, or
no, I don't. I rarely go to any groups.
That's why you're not meeting anybody.
Yeah. No. I've been working with lots of people. I belong to book clubs. I go to church on a weekly basis, but most people are either married or they are attached. That's why I was not looking actively, but I had a very social job with meeting hundreds of people each day. And most of the guys that like me, they were either married or they were attached.
Well, interesting enough, Anna, you're at a year where there's it's definitely at the end of a cycle. So at the end of a cycle, you're going to be reevaluating for a while of what you really want and the type of person. And normally, if you concentrate on a certain type of person, most likely you're going to meet up with them eventually. But you can't force it. Like Elizabeth said, you can't force anything as far as relationship goes. It does happen. You got a really good, within the next 3 or 4 months, my feeling is you will meet somebody. You're going to be cautious and be cautious about it. And it's a really good time for you to readjust and get acclimated to your retirement, which is not really a retirement. You're a young lady yet.
I am, but I was ready to retire because
there's something that I'd like you. Yeah. There's something that I'd like you to repeat. When do people meet somewhere, they're in each other all along. It will happen in the course of living your life. Pardon?
Did you want me to repeat something? I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
When two people meet somewhere, they're in each other all along. To remind you that relationships always come from within. You call them in, and you can speed that up if you'd like, just by knowing that they come in by living the course of your life. It's really true. In fact, sometimes relationships come in from friendships, and then you're really surprised.
Well, I have a friend for the last 20 years, and he does stay communication with me, but nothing has developed. So I think he's attached too.
Well, that's the wrong person then. But it will develop when, Frank, every single time I get into a relationship, and that is on occasion, but not too often, it's always a matchup in the astrological chart. We'll either have the moon, or we'll have Jupiter, or we'll have something. And that goes back to that Rumi wonderful saying that I said, when two people meet somewhere, they're in each other all along. The first time I heard a love story, I started thinking of you, not knowing how blind that was. For when two people meet somewhere, they're in each other all along. So it's always a divine setup, and it's always in perfect timing. And I would say not to worry about it, just to know that pretty soon, like Frank said, in the next 3 or 4 months, you will meet somebody because you are ready to have a good and loving relationship.
And you will meet 2 or 3 people, so don't, you have to
give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to open to the energies, the new energies, because we're all having new energies now. We've just changed nodes, and the past is gone. And we're all having new energies now, and everybody's in flux and change. And you're a Gemini, so we got good things happening in Gemini. We have a very strong Sagittarian eclipse again at the end of the year. We've got one this coming Friday. So something is opening for you for sure. What I want you to do is to write down 7 to 10 things that you would like in a relationship. You can even program it. You can say he's going to be 5'10", he's going to have blue eyes, he's going to have brown hair, he's going to be well established, he'll be able to care for me in a loving and kind manner, and I will be able to return my love to him. Always keep it in a circle. Keep everything in a circle. It really works.
You mean I need to draw a circle?
No, you need to. Well, you could think circle. I love him. He loves me. This is even.
Oh, okay.
Everything circle. You're giving as much as he's giving. Is what I mean.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I hope it will be someone permanent, because I have several friends that are attached. They like me, but they're not available. I have a couple of people that like me. I don't like them, but we're still friends.
And why is that?
Why, because I don't have chemistry to the person. He probably likes me.
Right, and that's what you're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're asking for, chemistry. And it will come. It always does. It just takes time. So what I think you've done is said to yourself, I'm retiring, now I have to have a relationship.
Yes.
Instead of doing that, now I'm retiring, my life is unfolding as it should, and I am able to move on with love, honesty, trust, and caring. And that will help you.
Don't worry about filling up those hours that you would normally work. It's a really particular change in your life. And you're at the end of a interesting cycle, a 9-year cycle, so you will be getting rid of negative stuff, things that you don't want. And next year, you're going into your first year of your brand new cycle. So all this is going to clear the way. You might even think different, the way you've been, and looking at relationships a bit different, and the type of person that might fulfill.
Give yourself time to adjust to retirement, and keep saying, when do people meet each other? When do people meet each other? They're in each other all along, and ask for a balanced, loving, caring relationship, and you will get it. It will come to you. It will. That should take 4 to 6 months. Okay?
4 to 6 months.
We have to take a break now, and we have to go to my stargazing weekly report, and then we have Jenny on the phone. So let's have our stargazing report. Thank you.
This is Elizabeth Joyce with Let's Find Out on OMTimes Radio. And now it's time for your weekly cosmic tip. This is Elizabeth Joyce with Stargazing, week of June 1st through June 7th, 2020. This is going to be a week that begins the strongest astral intensity that we have had in eons. The action will remain with us all month, and the after effects will linger until the fall equinox and beyond that. Since Venus continues to be retrograde in Gemini until the 24th of June, June is a good month to review your relationships and decide which ones will go forward with you and which ones need to be readjusted or released. Venus is also associated with money, stocks, and bonds, so everyone will be reviewing and revising their budget at this time, along with the fluctuating stock market. Also, you will begin to notice that each individual state in the United States is becoming very uncomfortable with what's going on in the government and are considering receding from the government. That will change the money because each state could then incorporate its own money back to the gold standard, which was destroyed when Nixon was president. We have not gone back to it. I'm just letting you know that news so that you can protect yourself. We also have 3 eclipses in June and July, and they serve as the transition between Cancer and Capricorn polarity and the incoming Sagittarius and Gemini polarity. After the isolation of COVID virus, this is a highly restless, I've got to get out and move energy. The summer solstice is particularly important because there's a solar eclipse. As if that's not enough, June 30th brings the second of 3 conjunctions of Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn. The virus went global at the first conjunction in February, so it will be interesting to see if this presents a calming influence on the path to the 3rd conjunction in November, or if the virus expands as the world begins to open again. Let's hope not. Frankly, I see that the virus is going to disappear as fast as it came, and hopefully by the end of the month, we'll have everything worked out for the better. The week starts off with a social Libra moon, but relationship planet Venus, which is now retrograde, makes a challenging square to Mars on Tuesday. So be diplomatic to begin the month and don't force relationship issues right now. The Sun aligns with Venus on Wednesday, marking the halfway point of the goddess's retrograde cycle. This is a pleasant combination and adds charm and lots of charisma for relationships as well as financial conversation. With the love planet retrograde, emotions and feelings will be focused on the past and your past relationships, perhaps issues with your family of origin. The moon moves into adventurous Sagittarius on Thursday to begin the build-up to Friday's full moon. The full moon is a lunar eclipse on Friday, June 5th at 16 degrees Sagittarius. Eclipses always travel in pairs. The solar eclipse represents the new energy and magnetic pole being brought forth, while the lunar eclipse represents the endings and goodbyes, and that energy that it brought months ago will recede. This is the first Sagittarius-Gemini eclipse since 2011-2012 and begins a series that continues into December of 2021. Sagittarius is ready for adventure and Gemini is curious and restless. A perfect example from the 2011-12 era was the landing of the Mars rover, as it was even named Curiosity. This lunar eclipse energy brings an end to or completion to the older energy that opened in 2011. The solar eclipse will come in about 2 weeks, which will open the Earth up to new energies. After so much time in virus isolation, I'm sure adventure is calling to everyone. This lunar eclipse is part of a challenging T-square pattern, which has you feeling pulled simultaneously in 3 directions. The moon in Sagittarius opens you up to higher philosophy and the need for a big adventure. The sun in Venus in Gemini prefers shorter conversations and classes or a quick weekend adventure. Aggressive Mars is traveling through non-aggressive Pisces until June 27th, which is great for the spiritual warrior, but mixed energies for pushing forward too fast. It's good to talk about your ambitions and relationship needs, but hold off on initiating too much action too soon. Practice adaptability and flexibility, and the month will fly by. Try to learn something new. The year 2020 has 2 eclipses in Sagittarius, the June full moon lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, as well as the new moon in December. This is certainly a sign from the sky that there will be many significant endings and new beginnings with those of us with Sagittarius prominent in our natal chart. If your birthday falls on June 5th or within 5 days before or after that date, this promises to be a super important year for you. Saturday is a mildly challenging day with the annual Sun-Mars square. This super competitive day brings you hot-headed, angry energy that makes you want to use a hammer to kill an ant. It's one of those days where you have big ambitions to get a lot accomplished, yet only pieces of your goals can get accomplished. However, a Capricorn moon on Sunday is great for accomplishing products that did not get done in the past few days. This is Elizabeth Joyce with Visions of Reality. The website is new-visions.com. If you'd like to make a call to ask a question or book a reading, the 24-hour answering service is 201-934-8986. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.
This is Elizabeth Joyce, and we're back with Let's Find Out on OMTimes Radio, and my guest tonight is Frank St. James. And Frank, we're answering questions of people that are really concerned about the times we're in, and I have Jenny on the phone. Are you there, Jenny? Jenny?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Jenny. Let me have your birthday, and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Los Angeles, and my birthday is January 17th, 1943.
February 17th?
Oh, no, January 17th.
January 17th.
1943.
How you doing, Frank? What's your question, Jenny, please, for Frank?
Oh, yeah, hi, Frank. Frank, I belong to a nonprofit. Hi. We had an election at this nonprofit, excuse me, and they cheated. I was on the original ballot, but when the ballots got mailed out, they had taken me off the ballot. And fortunately, enough people knew to write me in for financial secretary. But unfortunately, all the bad people got in because their names were on the ballot, and I'm the only one that's been putting up a fight over money that's been spent that should not be spent. So now that I'm on the board, am I going to get clobbered by these people, or is there any chance that there is going to be cooperation and things will be fixed the way they should be run?
Very good question. And you see what's going on right now.
Yes.
It's for yourself. I like what's in the fall actually for you. I think you'll find you're more into control of certain aspects of your life. Right now, I don't know if that's if they're going to put it together the way you would like it. It just doesn't feel it.
I don't think so, Jenny. I think that you're at an ending, and everything has to be redone and renewed. These people stole the money. They know they stole the money. They don't want to give it back, and they don't want to make it public.
Right, and I'm writing a letter. See, you're right, Frank. Our first meeting doesn't start till October in the fall. But I am writing a letter to all the members. I'm going to email it out, itemizing everything that's been done wrong.
Well, I don't know if I'd email it out. I think what you want to do is mail it out. Return receipt requested to each member.
Oh, my gosh, there's about 80. See, my problem, my shameful problem, is that we were so politically correct, the good people, that we kept trying to correct this with just the board members that were doing bad things. And we never really let the membership know what was going on. And now I feel terribly guilty because they had a right to know everything that was going on.
Well, I would write them and say that you were blocked from telling them. And then I would say, I do think that that's going to be a good action, but I don't think it's going to get resolved too easily. And you have to be careful. Frank, do you sense that she could have a little danger with this?
There's definitely a couple people that don't want to give up. that money.
Correct.
And
That's the president and the treasurer, yes.
They stole it.
You've got to realize that that's more important to them than anybody.
Correct.
Personal. And that seems to be one of the worst trends that I've seen in years as far as even charities and different organizations, that somebody decides they're going to walk away with the money and thinking that they're not going to get caught.
And Jenny, we're at a closing cycle. So I just want you to be aware that we're at a closing cycle. And I would wait until, if you can get that out before the 10th of June, don't expect too many responses until after Mercury goes direct. And then, as we go into August and September, let the energies open up for you to get reelected, probably because of your honesty.
Right. Well,
so
you know,
be careful how you word everything.
My only hope is that a year and a month ago, I did send a package to IRS, Department of Exempt Organizations, and I don't think they've had time to even look into it. Will IRS ever investigate on my complaint?
I would write it again and remind them. Just send what you sent before and remind them.
Okay.
I am concerned that you may have passed this over or missed it, and I want to bring it back to your attention.
Okay, that sounds good.
This
is actually before the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay,
this is actually a good time as you get closer to the fall to get the information that you need to act on this. And that's my feeling about it. You'll get closer to being able to break through and finally get people's help that you need. So,
well, we went to the police and they said there's nothing they can do, and went to the DA, nothing they can do. And
they'll say that. You know why they say that? I had that happen to me here. They'll say it because they know they can't win, and they do not want to upset the apple cart. So that is BS. There's plenty that they can do, but they don't want to because they are giving power to this president and treasurer. And they're worried about their own jobs and their own repercussions, but that's not law, and that's not honesty.
Once all these things that I'm writing down are exposed, do you think we'll ever remove that president?
Yeah, if you go to the news media.
Okay.
You're in California. Where are you in California, Jenny?
In Los Angeles.
Find somebody in the news media. Find a reporter that will help you.
Yeah, follow the money trail, whether they're buying toys now that are really out of their realm.
Right.
Most of them do that. They overspend. They're picking up real estate, buying overpriced cars that they could never afford. And that's how they catch them.
Frank, I've been told it's rampant in nonprofits, and it's very difficult to. Yeah.
Well,
so do you
it's not difficult if you have the paperwork, but you could have an investigation, and I would go to the news media. What is your profit? Your nonprofit?
Oh, it's a nonprofit where we furnish scholarships for high school students going to college, and believe me, we could have done a lot more if they hadn't taken that money.
Well, I think that you can I think that you'll be able to at least locate somebody. Ask your friends or ask a good lawyer. And I do think that you'll locate somebody by the end of August. Unfortunately, we have to go to break now, Jenny. I love talking to you, and I'm sure that you can talk with Frank online. Frank, please give out your phone number for Jenny.
Yeah, Frank.
It's 862-684-1904.
All right, I'll give you a call tomorrow, Frank.
One more time, Frank.
That part about the dangers.
862-684-1904. And I also been a private detective too, so.
You'll be able to help. Yeah. Thank you for calling. Let's find out, Jenny. And now it's time to go to our break, and we'll be back after these messages.
your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
A social distancing tip.
Putting distance between yourself and others is critical to slowing the spread of coronavirus. So here are ways to stay in contact without the physical contact part. Call, send a text, set up a video conference, post on social media, dedicate a song on the radio. If you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Elizabeth Joyce's Elixir Tea is really a healing tea. It's blended according to Ayurvedic principles and the chanting of Sanskrit mantras. So it assures a deep cellular healing, relief that flows from within. So drink Elizabeth's healing tea before you meditate. Order it online or call 201-934-8986, 201-934-8986.
Consistently attract soulmate clients, begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalind Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spot that activates your soulgasmic business by tuning in on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Mountain. Join me for your light language activation and let's magnetize and monetize.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Joyce with Let's Find Out, and that was Elizabeth Hepburn with Let There Be Peace on Earth, along with our West Point banned. We certainly do need it now. We have so much going on in the world and in our cities, anger and hatred and destruction. And my goodness, Frank, can you tune in as to when any of this is going to start calming down? It's very sad.
Well, there has to be some kind of action being taken. It's just very slow. They seem to be very slow to act. And a lot of the politicians are afraid if they do act that they're not going to get reelected
but
again.
That's not the point. You know what got me upset? And I heard Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter say this the other night, and I had already said it, that those 4 other policemen could stand by and watch that man do that is absolutely unforgivable. And all of them should meet whatever compensation they get, right? It was just very, very sad. And I know that this kind of thing has been going on a long time. All kinds of prejudice. It doesn't necessarily have to be black and white. There's other prejudice too. We have the Jewish and we have the Mohammed and we have all these other people. We have to get along. We have to learn how to cooperate and communicate. I think a lot of it is communication. And why are these people so up in arms and so angry? They're angry at maybe some of the circumstances that have happened, but they're blaming people instead of looking at the real problem. Don't you agree, Frank?
Yes, they are, and I saw in the news that it's spreading all over. Even Australia, they're having these rallies, and this is coming out of our problems here.
Well,
and,
Hong Kong had it first.
And
Hong Kong was doing
they're right now. They're having it in Australia and some other countries against authority that they feel they've suppressed them. And the whole thing is we got to keep quiet, listen, and watch these people that we elected that are not coming forward and helping out. They were very vocal before, and all of a sudden they're quiet. And they should be helping their constituents, but they're not. And I think they're going to be putting themselves in a lot of problems.
Well, I don't know. You know, we haven't heard anything about the word election in months, and everybody's been hiding behind the 8 ball, as they say. But I do think that things are going to start to heat up. I do see danger this weekend with the full moon eclipse. We have 3 eclipses this month, and we are going to have major, major change. So I just hope that it can bring out a very good result rather than not so much. And I asked you the other night, Frank, I said, where are the masks? These people are out there and they're in crowds and they're pushing each other and there's no masks. So if we will have a resurgence, I think Miami said something today about how they hospitalized 100 people after the rally.
Well, they said within a couple of weeks they're going to have a large resurgence of the virus because of this.
But that's because of this. It's not because, you know, that we it doesn't mean we shouldn't open the country. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't go back to our jobs. I believe that it's because of these people that have not been careful and are just not listening to what they need to do.
Well, we got certain organizations that want anarchy, and
I know. In fact, they said about New York City that the people that were looting New York City were not even residents of the state, that they had come in through Brooklyn over the bridge, and that they were an organized insurgents group and no citizens of New York State. So
well,
they were paid to do it.
It starts off with a peaceful process, and they want to get their point across. And next thing you know, maybe an hour later, all these people start to filter in and start to throw in bricks and everything else. I mean, these people are coming in. They're organized. They have the weapons that they need to.
Right, they do.
Break in and the Molotov cocktails and stuff like that. It's It's, there's all
they
kinds of stuff
certainly didn't come to
on.
it intending peace or intending any kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do hope that things calm down. I know the only thing that I can do, and I can recommend everybody to do, is to go into prayer. Go inside and pray and see the cities calming down where you live. Try to get groups together. Try to get meditation groups together. Because the more you get together in a quiet space where you can pray and make positive statements to end this, the more it will begin to end. It's funny how that energy works, but it really, really does.
Right. If they let them into the church, they have to do some letting up right now of let the people get back to
They can even
church.
do it on Zoom. It'll still work if you do it on Zoom, and it'll work if you do it on the phone, just as you gather.
Mm. But these people that are agitating, coming in from other areas, other states, are, and you see that they're indiscriminate. They don't care. But they're tearing down neighborhoods that some of them went through riots, and they're still 10 years ago or more, and they're still trying to come back from it. It's, and...
Well, we are at our closing hour right now for Let's Find Out, and we will be trying to find out more for next week's show. And Frank, will you come back in 2 weeks? Because I think that people need to talk to you. You're a wonderful psychic detective, and you do fabulous over, what do they call it, transcontinental, talking to the other side.
Right.
I
certainly will.
Let me have your phone number, please, again.
It's 862-684-1904.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on tonight, Frank, and it's always a pleasure to have you with us.
And thank you for having me. Thanks.
Absolutely. This is Elizabeth Joyce, and I, too, have a 24-hour answering service if you would like to call and book an appointment or ask a question. And the number is 201-934-8986. My website is new-visions.com, and the email is elizabeth_joyce.16@AOL.com. The whole point of Let's Find Out is to bring you truth, to bring you your answers, and to help you move into a place where you just feel yourself and get your nervous system calmed down and perhaps get some news that you've been waiting to hear that will make you feel better, strengthen you, and you can move forward in life. It's now time for our meditation. We always end this show with a meditation. So let's get ready for that. Sit in a chair with both feet flat on the floor. Take some deep breaths, and the meditation is followed by William Vitalis. It's always wonderful to hear from William. I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening. Good night.
This is Elizabeth Joyce with Let's Find Out. And now it's time for our nightly meditation. Tonight, we are creating union, which of course is the essence of human relationships. Please sit in a straight back chair with your feet uncrossed and flat on the floor, or you can lie down on your bed with your feet out straight and uncrossed, or sit in the lotus position if you desire. Take a deep breath and clear your mind. Take another deep breath and clear your mind again. One more time, clearing your mind. Now let's bring down the ring of fire. That's a ring, like a Christmas wreath, that you bring down over the top of your head, your neck, your shoulders, your body, your hips, your thighs, your legs, and your feet, and you throw it down into the ground. So let's do the ring of fire. Bring the ring of fire down over your body, taking a deep breath and release it into the ground. Allow the fire to remove any and all negativity around you at this time. Take another breath. Let's do another ring of fire. Bring it down over the body and down into the ground. One more time. Take a deep breath. Bring that ring of fire down over your body. Let it remove all negativity. Feel it burning away as you get into a place of peace, and throw it down into the ground. Release the breath. Allow yourself to go back to normal breathing. Creating union can help you achieve vibrant partnerships of fearless loving and mutual self-fulfillment. It provides the ingredients to go into the deeper meaning of an inevitable relationship. It also helps you with relationship difficulties. With a wise and gentle voice, your inner guides and angels will guide you in resolving difficulties while compassionately answering practical questions about sexuality, spirituality, divorce, separation, fear of intimacy, creating mutuality, and how to keep the spark alive in long-term relationships. Creating union is a basic primer for all of our relationships. It helps with empathy and gives you great clarity on the way back home to union. Knowing how to create union is a sweet and powerful treasure. Though the word unconscious is widely used these days, most of us cannot quite grasp what it means to have a vast reservoir of feelings and thoughts whose contents are ordinarily not accessible to us. This would not matter if the inaccessible material did not have an influence on our view of the world, our behavior, and our entire life. But it does, with a vengeance. We are going through a time, as we enter the new decade, of difficulties, our past coming up to haunt us, and we need to take a sharp look at our thought system and how we react to the world around us. Therefore, it is crucial to allow the unconscious material to come to the surface, to learn the secrets of our souls that we have kept hidden even from ourselves. Take a deep breath and see yourself dropping away any judgments, preconceived notions, desires, and outcomes. Feel yourself floating in the white light of the heart center. Feel that white gold light fill you now. And allow. Tell your guides that you allow and accept that which comes your way, because you know you are protected. You know that you're a child of God and that you are never alone. Take a deep breath. From the perspective of a higher consciousness, a broad vista of human life can open up to you. We see various regions of our souls, those which are healthy and whole and those which are flawed. The spiritual and emotional quagmires where our unfulfilling relationships have their seeds. Sometimes these seeds open and sprout because it's a part of the soul that we need to eliminate. We learn with amazement that we really know what we really feel, what we really wish, what we think or need. Childish, half-formed presumptions, confused feelings, unjustified fears and guilts, self-punishment patterns come to the surface when we are finally willing to find out who we are and how we function as love partners as well as friends. Most of our problems have common roots because we are all human, which is encouraging to know as we set out on this quest to find our specific inner twists and knots. Energy healing is the answer for many. Energy healing helps you to go into past lives and perhaps see the root of the problem, or just to clear whatever is blocking your feelings of loving, close relationships. To heal our own soul is always our first task, but this does not mean that we have to wait to engage in a relationship until we are in full harmony with ourselves. That's a lifetime of work. Life is to be lived, but with a greater, wider consciousness. Our relationships will improve accordingly as we expand our heart center and allow ourselves to blend, meld, and accept other people into our world. There are various ways to coach unconscious vital material out of hiding. One is through meticulous, open-minded, non-judgmental self-observance. Meditation is unsurpassed in leading to the truth seeker into the labyrinth of his or her infantile world. You remember when you were 3 or 4 years old? In that infantile world, you drew a lot of conclusions and made a lot of assumptions that still are working with you now. Going in deep to your inner being, finding these erosions of the soul and eradicating them is key to raising your vibration and coming up into a peaceful, non-judgmental, loving, tolerant, and compassionate world. This is an inner journey, and may this meditation pave the way home to the God self of your center. This can be the greatest adventure of your life as you come from isolation into fearless loving. Are you ready? Are you ready to begin? Are you ready to expand your meditations into that which is necessary and do the work that needs to be done so that you can raise your consciousness and embrace the state of being, love, peace, and harmony? Say that you are right now. Tell your inner guides that you're ready to open your heart, mind, and being to the fulfillment of love, peace, and harmony. Take a deep breath. Release the breath. Feel the strength of spirit entering into your center as you remember, I know who I am, I know what I am, and I know how I serve. Take a deep breath. Release the breath. Now allow yourself to float. As you listen to William Vitalis tell us about the hour of blue, and we are definitely at the hour. Hopefully, it will be your hour of blue.
Turns all into blue. Now is the time when shadows turn back into dew. Ocean of light, who dips the air into changing tides so still. Now is the hour, now is the moment of blue. Mountains and kisses.